What is good, Cycle Storm fans? It is Bryant Cook, and today I am playing my favorite Pauper deck. I've been playing a ton of this deck this week. I uploaded a members video that you can check out on the card above, where I talked about some of the ideas I wanted to test. I played some of those. I tried some other things. In fact, I tried a Sultai list, which you can see here, where I'm playing some green cards, but I'll talk about those in a second. So today we're playing Dimir, and this list is a combination of ideas. So I tried to record a league last night and it didn't go very well, and I just decided to quit recording. I ended up finishing 3-2 after I stopped, but I wasn't really interested in recording what had happened. So I had a number of game ones where I just incredibly unlucky. Like, that's the only way to describe it. And I don't like blaming things on luck, but when you look at the probability, it's not likely to happen. So for example, I had a game one where I got down to 38 cards in deck with only seeing 2 creatures. Not really probable when I'm running 25 creatures in my deck. I ended up losing that game, and it was kind of tough. And then I had another game where, admittedly my own fault, I thought I was in game 3, we were in game 2, and I lost. And then it turns out there was a game 3 with only 2 minutes left on the clock. Had I known that I was that low on time, I could have played faster, but I took my time because I was so low. And I thought that it was game 3 already, so it was just a mess. But today we're gonna play better. That's the big thing. I want to play better today. But also, I learned a lot in that league. And you might notice there's only 1 copy of Mystical Teachings here, 2 copies of Dahada's Ploy. This is not a me thing. I'm stealing this from Magic Online user Tyrube, I believe their name is, where they play 1 repository scob, which I don't agree with. I think that this card is bananas and you definitely want 2, but they play 2 ploy. And I've been thinking a lot about that. And it's nice because unlike teachings, if you draw multiple of it, you can use it to then filter into more creatures or to dig for the other cards you want, like Reaping the Graves or Songs of the Damned. And it digs 4 deep, which is a lot. So Dahada's Ploy also helps in the burn matchups. It just makes a lot of sense, and burn is everywhere right now. So I definitely want to try this out. So when I was testing the Sultai list, I was bringing in these 7 cards against red-black burn. And when I did that, I found that I actually didn't have room to do everything, so I ended up boarding out a Dahada's Ploy. And I was like, if that's the case, should I really be playing green? And it sent me down this wormhole about if I really want to be playing green or not. And by the end of it, I was like, I should just be straight Dimir. So yes, there's a Drannith Stinger in my deck to win the game with and a Flaring Pain, but this deck, look at the lands, it's Dimir. And I started thinking about what I could do because I've been really impressed with duress recently. I've sort of changed the way that I approach the fairies matchup, and I sort of just accept that Spellstutter Sprite is something that's going to be effective against me, but instead I now have these 4 answers that hit the Relic of Progenitus or Nihil Spellbombs or whatever, and I still have Mearshell Crab for Spellbomb and Spellstutter Sprite. I'm trying this out. I mean, nothing I'm playing right now is set in stone. I'm just trying a lot of different deck lists, trying to get a good feel. So the plan is to board in more copies of Ploy against the burn decks. Is it as effective as Not to the Bone? Absolutely not. But I don't have to board in a Splash Color, which has also hurt me in recent games where I'm stuck with a Forest in play with a bunch of blue cards in hand. Maybe I'm just running bad and I need to get over it, but I just figured today I'd try out a pure Dimir list. So the only card I'm not thrilled with in the sideboard is Darkness. I talked about in that members video about how I don't love this card anymore and how I feel like often in those matchups you want to race. If I'm being completely honest with you, I just don't know what else to put in this slot. You could put in like a Grizzly Survivor, I guess. You could put Grizzly Survivors here, because I don't even like Darkness in the deck. Like, in those matchups where you want Darkness, honestly, I think I'd rather just race most of the time. So I don't love this, but I don't know what else I'd put there. And Grizzly Survivor is just like not that good in my opinion at beating Graveyard Hate, but I don't know. Should I play Grizzly Survivor? Let's do it. Let's see how Grizzly Survivor is today. I hate this card, but I've been really unimpressed with Darkness recently. So let's get rid of the Darkness. And I'm sure those of you with budget constraints will appreciate this, but let's try the Grizzly Survivor today. Let's see how this goes. So this is my little bit of a rambly deck tech for you. I hope you enjoyed it. But that's what I've got. And to explain the Flaring Pain, because I haven't been playing this over the last month or so, I've started testing it again because Boros Bully won a challenge, and since then there's been a bunch of it in the leagues. So this card just on its own, it beats what is it called, Prismatic Strands. There we go. I'm not so old that I can't remember words, but it beats Prismatic Strands. But the funny thing about it is I actually haven't got to cast it yet. So what happens is my opponents like mulligan to Strands in game 1, and they think that they've got me locked out, and then I just kill them in their upkeep. So that's happened multiple times, and then in game 2 they realize that I don't need Flaring Pain to beat them, and they just play super aggressively, so I never ended up needing this. It's a nice backdoor, but you don't actually need it. That's what I've got for you today. Stick around. I hope you enjoyed this pure blue-black deck list. I need to record this video in about 2 hours, so I need to play fast today because I gotta run. But let's do it. I'll see you in the first match. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. That said, there's no better way of showing your support than becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks, and we get to keep making combo content. The perks get better and better each level you go up. They also stack. To start off, with our Storm Fan tier, you unlock our private members section of our Discord, which comes with a highlighted user profile and then some awesome badges and emotes for YouTube. Looking for Cyborg help? Become a Stormtrooper, our middle tier, for 2 Cyborg guides of your deck choice every single month, on top of 50% off donation decks. Did we mention you also get 10% off merchandise from our shop? With our top tier, the Combo Cabal, you get a free donation deck every single month, 15% off merchandise from our shop, early access to private deck lists, and the most valuable perk in my opinion, videos early. That's right, you heard it, early access to all videos. But maybe sweet perk, secret deck list, early access to videos isn't for you, but you'd still like to show your appreciation. Make sure to check out theepicstorm.com/shop for card singles and Storm swag. Please don't forget to use your membership discounts. Finally, if you want to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel, make sure to visit theepicstorm.com/donation decks, where all you have to do is attach your TXT file and pick a donation tier. With our Epic tier, you can even join me in a video to showcase your bold brew in person and explain the ins and outs of your strategy. Card availability won't be an issue due to our new sponsor, Card Hoarder. With Card Hoarder, renting is super easy. If you're looking to get into Magic Online, there isn't a better, more affordable solution than Card Hoarder. Fun fact, you can rent the Epic Storm for 7 tickets a week, which is just a great deal. There are many ways you can support us. Just pick whatever is best for you. In the meantime, let's play some Magic. Alright, time for the first match. We're on the draw. Here I've opened up a hand with no lands. We're just going to mulligan. Our opponent's taking a mulligan as well. We will keep this hand. So the question becomes, do you bottom the Ploy or do you bottom the Dark Ritual? I think I'd rather bottom Ploy, especially when we have 2 of them in our deck list today. So by keeping the Dark Ritual, I can theoretically go off faster if our opponent's on an aggressive deck. Obviously, if they're on an aggressive deck, Ploy can be nice, but it requires mana to set up. So one of the things that the hottest Ploy has against it, and we're going to keep this, and we're going to bottom the Ploy, is that it's not good at gaining a ton of life, it's good at gaining marginal life. So when it gains a ton of life, that means that you've already comboed off if you go up to like 40 or so. But when you're not ready to win, it often requires you to burn something like a Dark Ritual or a Cabal Ritual to even gain 5 to 7. So that's where the concern comes from. And if I'm going to go off, I'd rather just have, okay, so they're on mono blue. Draw. And let's just cycle. Okay, Songs is not a bad one. But I'd rather just be able to go off quickly than to try to play the Ploy game. Delver does not flip, not surprising considering these decks often play 20 plus creatures. Oh, you didn't want to Thought Scour me? So it looks like they're on Dimir. Okay. Delver gets in, draw. Let's cycle this. Cabal Ritual. I think I'm just going to cycle this turn. Teachings, pass. So I could have played a Dark Ritual there and triple cycled, but I really don't want to use too many resources if I don't have to against a deck like Dimir. Now they're casting Brainstorm. Do you have the blue source? They do. Okay, they're tapping it for another Delver. So they're giving us a window here. We might want to take it. Ouch. Down to 4. Cycle again. Blood Celebrant is very welcome. Cycle here. And again. And we'll cycle the Stinger. Alright, 10 mana. That's what we got out of it. So we got 4 extra mana by waiting. And now the Horror of the Broken Lands comes back. We'll play this Petal. Cycle the Horror. Cabal Ritual, you're lovely. Okay, so we'll play out the Blood Celebrant. Let's find our songs. So this makes 10 mana, so I can flashback this, and I essentially get a free Reaping the Graves out of it. But how many songs are left? 1, 2. So if I search, I'd only have 1 left. Makes me a little bit thin. I think I'm going to risk it. We have a window, we need to take it. Alright, songs, and then return everyone. Street Wraiths first. And then everyone else. I wonder if I should just start playing out Stingers in an attempt to win the game. I don't know. So I have 13 mana. They have 2 cards in hand. There's a chance they don't even have a Snuff Out. I think I'm going to try it. Okay, let's see if this one sign. Alright, this certainly helps with the me needing to win quickly but so I can leave. Alright. Cycle, cycle. I cannot cycle another Street Wraith. I need to remember that. Cycling another Street Wraith would be me being dead. I don't want to be dead. Okay. Click, 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 boom. We're at 4. And now we're going to be at the same life total. How crazy is that? And another Barrymore for the W. So we've taken game 1 over Dimir. Love it. Okay. So we definitely want Duress in this matchup. And then Mirror Shell Crab not only answers Spellsetter, it also answers Relic. We've played this before a lot when it came out, and then sort of fell out of love with it, but I think it's the best option that you have in a pure Dimir list. Ooh, get back in the deck. Alright, and then we'll take out the Island. So I think you can likely take out Ploy in these matchups. Ploy isn't really a card you need. So those sort of just become the Mirror Shell Crabs. And then we're at 65. I think that you can afford to board out a Lotus Petal if you're bringing in the 13th land for consistency. You could probably board out a couple copies of Architects, and that brings you to 62. Alright, so what else goes out now? We're at 25 creatures. Probably board out at... So one of the things I like about playing Duress is that it actually protects your Scobs in the matchup. From like Snuff Outs, so I don't think you really want to be boarding a ton of those out. I'm gonna try something a little bit different today. I'm gonna board out 2 Dark Ritual and try this. So we're keeping our creature count high for consistency. We still have the powerful rituals in the deck and the consistency cards. The only thing we're losing is the rituals that are less impactful. So trying different stuff out, see how it goes. And this hand is absolutely fine. We will keep. Okay. Ice Tunnel, draw. Alright, that swamp was a huge draw. Duress. Spell Pierce, Blue Blast. Okay, so no Relic. We'll take the Spell Pierce though. One of the nice things about playing Triple Swamp, and I meant to cover this in the deck tech and I just ended up forgetting, is you might have noticed there's 3 swamps and 1 island. That is because we're playing 4 Duress on the sideboard. You want the most untapped black sources as possible. Ooh, Deep Analysis. They're on a spicy list. So that way, they actually might not be playing fairies. They might just be blue-black Delver. Alright, pass the turn. Brainstorm. Mental note, okay. This is definitely a spicy list. You have a Delver. Cycle this Vantasaur. Draw. Alright, I'm gonna go to 18 here, cycle. Cycle the Horror of the Broken Lands. Cycle Stinger. I'm wondering if I actually want to play this out. I think the answer might be no. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass for now. I don't want to risk being in a situation where my hand is all rituals. They're gonna end step Brainstorm. Alright, Delver triggers. To the blue blast that we saw previously. Okay. They have 5 cards in hand. We just know that one of them is a blue blast. So they'll get in, we'll fall to 15. Ooh, Spellbomb. Okay. That's what I get for main phase cycling, I suppose. And they're just going to pass. Draw. Play out the Lotus Petal, see if they'll counter this. Probably not, though. Alright, I think I'm just going to pass and then cycle the Barrymore. I was thinking about playing the Barrymore out, but I don't think it's the right choice. The reason to play out the Barrymore is that you're trying to beat the Spell Pierces that we've seen that our opponent already has. So now they're going to get in. We'll go to 12 life. We can definitely beat Spellbomb. What is this? Flashback Deep. Interesting. So they're just going to hold up the Spellbomb here. Cycle this. We need to find Reaping the Graves. So this would be our window to try to win. I'm trying to make it so I'm wondering if I Cabal Ritual if they'll respond, and if they do, I could then Songs in response, but then I don't have a blue source open if I hit Teachings. It's only a 1 of though, but I want them to try to respond with Spellbomb. That's the big thing here. Alright. I don't know. Let's just try Cabal Ritual. I could also just put Horror onto the battlefield. Like, we haven't seen any removal. I might be able to just race this Delver if this resolves. And they decide to respond. We're going to let the first ability resolve and see if they draw a card. They choose to not draw a card. Songs of the Damned. Dispel. Okay. So I think we're going to pivot game plans here. And I'm just going to put Horror onto the table. Alright. It's been a while since I've done this. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the buns. Augur of Bolos. And they pick up a Spell Pierce. Okay. Delver attacks. We go to 9. Draw. Attack. Get in there. Do you block? No blocks. Okay. So we know that they have a Spell Pierce, so I can't really profit off this Cabal Ritual. I think it's like kind of risky because if I cycle the Street Wraith, they can attack me with the Augur and actually takes a turn off my clock, so I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. Another Ritual here doesn't help. Alright, I'm going to commit. I'm going to cycle the Street Wraith. I'm at 7. Cycle the Ash Barrens. This is only 10. Okay, have to pass the turn. Not so sure we're going to get this one. Thought Scour. They mill a Snuff Out, so they kept in Snuff Outs. Dimir Aqueduct. Sure. Still has 7 cards in hand. Attacking with only Delver? Like I mentioned, this Augur changes the clock, so I'd have to be able to kill them on the swing back. And it looks like they've decided to attack with both. If they have a blocker in hand, this is a no-brainer. Alright, they've decided to go for it. Can I draw Cycler into Cycler? Step 1. Get in. No blocks. Cycle. We need one more Cycler here. Ah. Lost by 1. Okay, going to game 3. Damn, 1 Cycler away. Alright, wasn't the next card either. Game 3, run the play. I mean, I could board in the Grizzly Survivors if they have a bunch of black removal. Doesn't die to Snuff Out. But they just saw that I tried to win with this, so I don't know how good this will be. It also just, like, dies to a Delver. I did see Dispel, so I'm less likely to keep in Teachings. And if you board in this, you definitely want Dark Rituals. Interesting dynamic we have here. Do I board out the Scops then? That's another question. That brings me back down to 62. Do I take out the Lotus Petals? That's another thought, is do you just rely on Blood Celebrant and say, hey, your deck is all black, you don't actually need Lotus Petal? Try something like this. Alright, let's see how it goes. On the play for game 3. Sure. I mean, it's not amazing, but I think it's fine. Swamp past the turn. Island Delver. Cycle. Pick up a Dino. Draw. I don't mind drawing that. Hitting land 2 is always very good. We'll go get a blue source for this Mirror Shell Crab. Alright, so Ash Barrens is finally resolved. We'll play our island past the turn. Brainstorm with the Delver trigger. On the stack. Alright, so Delver flips to Thought Scour. They're getting in. I'll go to 17 life. No land 2. Cycle Vantasaur. Draw. I could try to duress into Horror of the Broken Lands right now. So Dark Ritual, Duress, Cycle Songs. That might be the play. So I go up to 3, I'd have 3 floating. I want to make sure I don't mess this up. Dark Ritual. So then cycle these, I go down to 1 mana. This would make 4. I don't know if I can duress this turn. Alright, let's start off on the cycles, because those are the free things. Well, now I definitely can, but do I want to burn double songs? Cycle the Stinger. Am I supposed to just go for it? Okay. I think the reason to do what I'm doing right now is that you can always backdoor into just casting this at the end. Let's cycle the Barrenmore. That was not good. Alright, let's cycle this too, I guess. 5 mana. Return these. Alright, so this line ended up not panning out. Maybe I'll hit a Cabal Ritual and everything will be fine. Nope. Cycle. And I think I just want to duress them to make sure I don't get spellbombed. They have multiple copies of Spell Pierce, counter spells. I think we just take a Spell Pierce. Oh, I know that they're Brainstorm locked. Do we take the Thought Scour? I think we do. Alright. Maybe I should have just played the Horror. Draw. Cycle trying to hit land. There we go. Alright, pass the turn. So this Delver is going to knock us down to 11 now. No land again, cycle. Okay, let's go pick up another swamp. They are going to clean up. This card's Deep Analysis, a card we didn't know about. So I can actually pick up a Songs of the Damned now. They can't counterspell this with a Spell Pierce. Exploit it, pick up songs. Alright, so next turn I can play a Horror. Guaranteed at least. Delver gets in, we go to 8 life. And once again, no second land. Jeez, pretty unlucky for the opponent. I can just hardcast Horror here, don't even need to burn the songs. We got there, it happened. Look at that. Beautiful 5 basic Horror of the Broken Lands. Alright, they found land 2. They're going to attack. Ouch. I'm at 5. But now we get an opportunity to do the thing where we win the game. Okay, they played a blocker. We still get to do we still have an opportunity to do the thing where we win the game. I think it's free here to attack and see if they block. I mean, they should, but let's make sure that they do the right thing. Attack. They wisely block. Alright, so now is our time to shine. Cycle. Okay, let's cycle these. I don't know if it really matters. Let's cycle Stinger off this. I want to leave the blue up, I guess. Alright, songs. Reaping the Graves. Return the Scob. And Horror of the Broken Lands. So it's only for 2, but I get to Scob back the songs for more mana. Exploit. Back songs. Cycle. And I should play the songs here. Okay, let's cycle this. Alright, I have 8 mana, which is exactly enough to Repository Scob again. Alright, I just have to do that, I think. 1 songs, 2 songs. Well, actually, I'm not dead if I pass the turn. Alright, let's just cycle. Cycle again. Alright, no hits there. We'll Reaping the Graves, return Scob. Okay. 3 mana. Cycle Stinger. Ooh, I could play a second Horror here. I know that they have a Gurmag. They could play Gurmag as a blocker next turn. And I know that they discarded 1 counter spell. Let's Duress. It's a lot of 1 mana interaction, geez. So Dispel's the best one, so we'll take that. And Duress again. Might as well take Counterspell. So now they can play Gurmag and have Spell Pierce up. Yikes. Okay, so I'm gonna go to 2. Can't use Street Wraith. Might not get this one. Draw. Land is fine. Ball ritual. Okay, so that resolved. Let's play the repository scob. Exploit. Pick up Songs of the Damned. I'm gonna cycle horror here, and then I can cast songs. Ooh, that was good. Cycle. Cycle. Cabal Ritual. That resolved. Okay, so they're just hurt F6. That's crazy. Okay, 22 cards in deck. I have 8 minutes to win this game, so a lot of time. Cycle again. Cannot cycle that. Alright, so now we cast songs. Reaping the Graves for 6. I'll get back the Scob. And then let's get back healers. And I guess some stingers. But I want healers in case I draw into the Blood Celebrant, because then it opens up some lines. Cycle. Can't use that. Cycle. That was good. Cycle. I forgot we had these in the deck. Those are dead draws. Geez. Cycle. Again. Down to 15 cards. Cycle. Okay. Cycle. Cabal Ritual. But now I have to use Repository Scob to get back Songs of the Damned. I'm sorry, Reaping the Graves. Alright. There it is, Reaping the Graves. Well, this one makes 13 mana. And this one makes... Okay, when you hover over, they show the correct amounts. This one says 9. So we'll cast Songs. Okay, cast this one as well. Reaping the Graves. Picking up the Scob. Bring everyone home that we can. Okay. 6 minutes. Alright, let's just cycle this. 13 cards in deck. Cabal Rituals welcome. If I could find the Celebrant, it would just make this a lot easier. Cycle. Again. Let's Duress get rid of that Spell Pierce. Ooh, they picked up another Spell Pierce. Cancel. Cycle. There it is. Okay. So we'll add a white. We'll go to 1. Play the healer. Cycle healer. Okay. And again. Dark Ritual. Cycle the Stinger. Alright, well, let's get them to use the Red Blast. No, they decided not to use it. Wild. Cycle. 4 minutes. Okay, so they did use... I'm going to let it go. I realized I could have countered that with the Mirror Shell. But I want to just win this quickly, so... I'm going to exploit away the horror so it's one less trigger. And get back Reaping the Graves. Okay, I have to do this quickly. Alright, a little under 4 minutes. And then I have to turn off the auto yield so I don't accidentally deck myself. Turn off auto yields. Add a red. Add a red. Play Stinger. Play Stinger. Cycle a dinosaur. Alright. Okay. 3 minutes is plenty of time at this point. So we got match number 1 over Blue-Black Delver. Not fairies, Blue-Black Delver. You'll notice that all these draws are stacked. You never actually have to deck yourself. You can just always leave the draw triggers on the stack. Okay. And the final cycle. Well, that'll do. That was a long match, way longer than I expected. If you haven't joined them already, I would recommend opening up our description down below and joining our 7 social media networks. They're each great in their own way, but I would strongly suggest joining our Discord server. In there, you will find others just like you looking to improve their Storm game and grow as a combo community. If you're a member of our YouTube channel, you should sync your account to Discord to unlock our private member section that has the latest and greatest deck lists, concepts, and much, much more. Let's get back to comboing out. Alright, match number 2, we're on the draw. This hand seems fine enough, we'll keep. Brag, I do like my Boros matchup. Draw, not land 2, that's okay. Pass the turn. Land 2 for the opponent. Ooh, that's a cute card. This card's a mountain, okay. Draw. Blood Celebrant. Cycle. Land. Not land. Think I'm actually going to discard Celebrant here. Celebrant adds to our creature count for songs, but it also doesn't help advance our game plan, so seems like a no-brainer to me. They'll get in for 2, we go to 18. Boros Garrison. Draw. There's land 2. I'm just going to be lazy in main phase cycle. I could get punished, but I won't. Don't worry about it. It's game 1. Pass the turn, we found land 3, so we can cast this to Hottest Ploy as well. 4 mana. Battle Screech, okay. So if they have Rally next turn, that's 15 damage. Repository Scob. So if they have Rally and Bolt, it would be 18, but I have this the Hottest Ploy secretly hiding. So, I'm sorry, it would be 16. I forgot that this is a 2-1. No blocks. Alright, I'm at 12. Another Boros Garrison, you got it. And let's cast this ploy. Gaining 1. What do you discard here? I think it's the land. Draw. And another. Alright, so I think that this might be a go turn for us, so I'm going to start cycling and see what we can get into. Cycle. Cycle. Alright, Lotus Petal's not the worst. Cycle. Cabal Ritual. And jumpstart this ploy. Discard the Ash Barrens, I think. That's a fizzle. Yeah. Okay, so what do we discard? Probably the Petal. Pass the turn. You might be watching this going like, well, Bryant, if you only played 1 Scob and an extra Teachings, this wouldn't happen. Sure, I think on average, Repository Scob is a better card than Teachings. Yes, these sort of scenarios can happen. I'm aware. These are things that I consider when deck building. But I often look for the average and not for corner cases. It's not often that you're stuck with both Scobs in hand, no Teachings, no Ploy, no Reaping the Graves, no Songs, all that good stuff. So I don't think that this is the norm. All right, we're at 11. Yeah, they have another Battle Screech. You got it. Draw. There we go. Okay, so our limiting factor this turn is blue mana. just to keep that in mind. So we're going to exploit this, getting back the songs. Cast it. Mystical Teachings. Get back songs. And actually, I don't think it is, because we have the Blood Celebrant already in the graveyard. Oh no! I just realized I was too busy narrating. I was supposed to get Reaping the Graves with that. That's a misplay on my part. Whoops. Too busy narrating. I am so sorry. Okay, we should be fine. Let's just make sure to get back the Blood Celebrant. I'm a big dummy. Please forgive me. Alright, and I'm just going to return everything. Play out the Celebrant, and we can start by cycling down to 9 life. Cycle. Again. Okay. Go to 7. Cycle some more. Dark Ritual. We need to get creatures in the graveyard for songs, so that's the reason to just immediately start cycling instead of trying to cast this Repository Scob. Keep cycling. Cabal Ritual, that's a good one. 25 cards. Keep cycling. Cabal Ritual. Cycle the Vantasaur. Alright, 23 cards at the moment. There's another Reaping the Graves, that's a good one. Okay, so now we can use both these Scobs on songs into a win. Yes, I would like to exploit. Get back Songs of the Damned. Cast it. Go to 5, play Repository Scob. Exploit it. Pick up songs again. So you can misplay with this deck and be as bad as me and still win. How lovely is that? Alright, now we bring everyone home. Okay, so 19 minutes is plenty of time. Alright, so I'm at 5. Just have to pay attention to that. I'm going to go to 2. And I'm mentioning that because I'm saying it for myself. Alright, the opponent was nice enough to concede, didn't make me cycle my way through. Alright, let's switch this back to card view. So we're facing Boros. I think that this is one of those matchups where we want the Flaring Pain, so we'll bring that in. But I like that you don't have to bring in a land, so I can bring in these Mirror Shells and just swap out 2 Architects. And then take out the extra ploy for the Flaring Pain. Could also board in the second island over a Lotus Petal. I'm not sure if you need to do that though. Alright, so only one cycler, but has everything else. I think I'm going to try this. For 1 Craig, okay. Draw. I think I'm going to search out a swamp here. That way, if I draw some of our black cycling creatures, I have the black mana, the Horror of the Broken Lands. Land 2. Okay, the Informant. This card's looting, so now they have a 3/2 cycle. We picked up another Ash Barrens. Okay, so let's go grab the island. Draw. We're just gonna be lazy and main phase this. Pass the turn. Luminarch Veteran. Another Crag, they're at 22, and I'll take 3 down to 17. Draw land? Not a land. I think we just pass here. I can cycle the Horror on their end step. Inspector Gadget, you got it. Auto yield to this. And to that. They sacrifice the clue immediately. They have 1 mana open. So right now they're not exactly threatening lethal, but I don't have a whole lot of creatures in the graveyard, which is a concern. Another Veteran. Okay. Cycle. The other crab, okay. Draw. So if these crabs were the architects, we'd be in great, we would have been in a great spot, but that's just not how, like, I was trying to beat Graveyard Hate, and yeah, obviously. So we have 6 cards in the graveyard at the moment. I think I play Blood Celebrant as a blocker here and just pass. A Lightning Bolt, okay. Is this Rally? If it's Rally the Ancestors, I'm just dead. What you thinking about over there, huh? Boros Garrison, sure. No blocks. Alright, I'm not dead. Draw. Land. Not looking too good. Cabal Ritual. Okay, I have to play out the songs prematurely just for the storm count. Bring back the Blood Celebrant. And these. Okay. Alright, so that's resolved. Cycle. Again. Keep cycling. Go to 5. We've played our land. Cycle. Go to 3. I'm dead to Lightning Bolt. Alright, so no bolt there. Let's try Repository Scout for songs. If they have a red blast, we're dead. And they just had another bolt. That's fine. Game 3. Let's try the second land. I'm boarding out a Lotus Petal. I think drawing both Mirror Shell Crabs is just unfortunate there. I'm not going to sweat too much about that. And I'm just going to resubmit. Game 3. Sure. Would have preferred a land over the second, or over the first petal, but it's fine. Okay, so we're going to start off by playing the Barrymore and just pass the turn. Alright, so our opponent's played a Luminarch Veteran. Draw. Cycle. Alright, no second land, we're just going to pass the turn. Land 2, no red source. And the Informant, again, this card's pretty good. They discard Rally, so we know that they have Rally this game. We're going to need to be fast, but I'm lacking lands. I think I'm going to try to get some extra cycles in here. Cycle. Okay, cycle this. I could play the Ploy here, or I can just cycle the Vantasaur. I think I'm just going to cycle Vantasaur. And I can still Ploy. Nice. Alright, play the Ploy. We can discard Flaring Pain. Pass the turn. They have Mountain. Okay, so now at any point they will have Rally available. Another Veteran into Informant. Strong start. This card's looting. So I'm going to take 4 here, putting me down to 17. And then they have 8 here, plus another 8. So I go to 1 off Rally next turn. I think I'm supposed to cycle Street Wraith. Need a good draw. I'd love to see like a Songs of the Damned right here. Alright, our cycle is finally resolved, and we drew a Horror of the Broken Lands. Alright, I'm gonna burn the Cabal Ritual. I'm still not sure if I want to go for it or not this turn. I might end up just flashing back the ploy. I don't know. Alright, so this gives me some mana. I think I'm going to Reaping the Graves here and cycle Street Wraiths. Trying to see if I can spike. And then if I fizzle, I can always just flash back Ploy to gain some life. Alright, so I have Storm 4 here. Let's just return Horror of the Broken Lands. And then 2 Wraith. And then another creature. Okay, so I get to cycle these Wraiths for free. Dark Ritual's good, cycle. Okay. Mirror Shell's not what the doctor ordered. Cycle this. Come on, Songs of the Damned, please. Okay. Cycle. I can play this, or I can cycle it for as a blue source. I think I'd rather just have the island. Alright. Dark Ritual. I don't know how many cards I've actually cycled this turn, so I'm wondering if I should cycle Healer to make sure I stay alive. Yeah, probably. Alright, and then we can jumpstart the ploy, discarding Mearshell Crab. Alright, so I'm at 20. I'm still out of the reach of Rally. But as of right now, I can't do anything next turn. We're almost halfway through our library and we have not found a Songs of the Damned. So the opponent's going to get in. 8 damage right now. And it looks like they're rallying. Okay. I'm at 4. It shuts off Street Wraiths. Cycle. It's gotta be here. Cycle. So you're saying there's a chance. Cycle. Come on, Lotus Petal. There's another island in the deck. I boarded in another island. So now I can repository Scob back Songs. Exploit. Get back Songs. Cast it. Reaping the Graves. So it's only for 4. So the question is, do I want to bring back repository Scob when I know that I can't use it? We've used 2 copies of Lotus Petal. So I have 1 petal left in the deck and the 1 Blood Celebrant. It doesn't seem wise to bring it back. I think I just have to bring back Cyclers. Okay. 17 mana floating. See if I can pull this off. Cycle. Cycle. Alright, keep it going. We can cycle that. I would just go to 2. Cycle. Alright, I'm down to my last draw. I don't think mana's a choke point, so I should just thin my deck of a land. It's gotta be here. Cycle Street Wraith. We fizzled. Oh, damn. Disappointment. These Mearshell Crabs have not looked good in my hand these post-board games. Alright, so we are now 1-1. Playing your favorite combo deck in Paper just got so much easier with the Epic Storm Mini Token Pack. You can pick one up at theepicstorm.com/shop for $13. It includes 64 double-sided mini tokens. That's 128 tokens total. And they include 10 black, 10 blue, 10 red, 5 green, 5 white, 3 colorless, 20 storm counters. That means that you can count your way all the way up to 20 for Grape Shot, everyone's favorite Stormwind condition, a Galvanic Relay Exile Indicator, 4 treasure tokens for Strike It Rich, and then 10 monk tokens for our vintage friends. It also has Slime Time Live, Ave Progenitor Ooze tokens with the power and toughness already built in to make playing in Paper so much easier. No fumbling around with dice. We've got you covered. make sure to go grab those if you're playing Modern. And then Squirrels versus Goblins, Chatterstorm versus Empty the Warrens, the Battle of the Ages. You definitely need 20 Squirrel tokens and 20 Goblin tokens. You're going to love this mini token pack, I promise. And once again, you can grab that at theepicstorm.com/shop. All right, match 3, time to bounce back. We're on the draw. Here we have one Cycler and then a Baronmoor. I think we can do better on a 6. I know that I normally keep hands with one land and a Cycler, but this is just, I don't think this hand's going to get there. All right, so this technically is one land plus Cyclers. I think I'm going to keep this and bottom a Scob. All right, so we're on the draw, which means that I get 2 chances at drawing a land to turn on this Ash Barrens. Tron, a traditionally very tough matchup. That said, we are playing Grizzly Survivor in the sideboard, which is traditionally very good in the, very good in this matchup. Cycle Street Wraith. All right, we missed the land. Cycle. Have to pass. Tron land number 2, another Sphere. Draw. No such luck. Cycle. Have to pass the turn. Adding a green. And another green. Map. Okay. So they'll have Tron next turn. Draw. Technically a black source. Cycle. Lotus Petal. Okay. I think I'm gonna try something here. Cycle. Cycle again. One more time. Songs of the Damned. It appears that they don't have crop rotation or any sort of interaction. Okay, I'm gonna try Ploy here. Okay, discard the Swamp. Search our library for the island. Cycle the Baronmoor. Excuse me. Play Cabal Ritual. And now we jumpstart the Ploy, discarding the Repository Scob and hope to hit. Backbreaking. Have to pass. That was brutal. Went over a third into our deck without finding Reaping the Graves or the Mystical Teachings. That's a crusher. Draw. Let's go to 30. Cycle. Technically it's a start. Songs. Teachings. So in order to crease Storm here, I'm going to Songs again and then Flashback Teachings into Reaping the Graves. I don't think we're supposed to get back Scob. I could be wrong about that. We have 1 petal. We have 2 petals and a what is it called? Blood Celebrant left. I think we're supposed to just get back Cyclers. And it looks like I have triple Street Wraith in here, which is fantastic because I gained a whole bunch of life off the Hottest Ploy, and now I can use that life total as a resource to save on mana. Okay, so 5 creatures back. Cycle. And again. Okay. There's a Reaping the Graves. So mana's our choke point now. And another Dark Ritual. Cycle. The 4th Street Wraith, okay. Let's cycle this healer. This gets back the Scob. So if I Reaping the Graves right now, I go down to 4 mana, and I would need at least 6 mana for that to work. So that line isn't exactly live right now. So now we go down to 5. Repository Scob, I'd be 1 mana short. Okay, so I'm going to bring everything back that I can at least. So all 4 Street Wraith, and then some other stuff. Okay, so let's see what I can hit here. Ding dong, I think we've got it. Hell yeah. Cabal Ritual, Dark Ritual, cycle here. Beautiful. Look at all this. Living my best life. Keep cycling. 15 cards in deck. Okay. Down to 8 mana. Just keep cycling. Great cardio. Alright, Songs of the Damned, 22 floating mana. We now play Blood Celebrant, and now's the easy part. So we scout back 2 copies of Songs of the Damned, and then, you know, go from there. I love this deck. It's so sweet. I always feel bummed when I lose matches like the last one where my deck didn't get to do its thing, because doing the thing is so much fun. And I have some thoughts on possible adjustments we can make to make that happen less often, but I'm just going to focus on this match, and then at the end of this league, I'll go over those thoughts. Alright, bringing everyone home. So now we add some red mana. Okay, Stinger. Again, another Stinger. Buzz Buzz. Okay, we only have 2 Stingers at the moment. Kind of unfortunate. I'll take a draw. Not a Stinger. Draw. Keep cycling. I get asked a lot if Zenith Flare was legal, would I play Zenith Flare as my win condition? Honestly, I think the answer is no. You could play it as like a sideboard option versus burn. I think that would actually be pretty reasonable. But in general, I think it's better that Stinger's your win condition because it cycles, so it helps you finish your combo until you get to the point where you can easily win. Otherwise, you will end up with cards like the Mearshell Crab in the last match, where it got stuck in your hand and then you can't win. So we want to avoid that happening. Alright, we took game number 1 from Tron. We don't know if they're the blue version or the red-green ramp version. I've seen this in the blue version, but typically it belongs to the rampier builds. I'm not really sure what to think here. I do think no matter what build they're on, we want 4 copies of Duress. So I'm definitely bringing those in. And then the question is, do we want Grizzly Survivor? I think against both builds the answer is yes, but I don't have a whole lot of experience with it because I honestly just don't like this card. So we're definitely boarding out the Architects. 5 cards over at the moment. Probably take out at least 1 ploy. And part of me wants to live dangerously and just try boarding out Lotus Petal again, but I don't know if I'm actually allowed to do that. Probably board out 1 Scob. Maybe try boarding out the Blood Celebrant and just rely on the Lotus Petals instead. And let's try boarding out 2 Cabal Rituals. So I think that was something I could have done in the first matchup, where you want Dark Ritual when you have Grizzly Survivor. It just makes sense, but maybe you can get away with boarding out Cabal Rituals. There's a lot of heuristics that I am less familiar with when it comes to Grizzly Survivor. If this hand had a swamp in it, I think you have to be disciplined and just mulligan this. This is fine. Keep in bottom the Vantasaur, I think. Let's go. Tower into Sphere, you got it. Draw. Be lazy and just cycle now. I mean, if they want to Bazooka Bog me for 1, have at it. So they're using Sphere for a green. Ancient Stirrings. They pick up Map, okay. Versus Mine into Map. So they will have a fast Tron. I think I'm going to sit on this Ash Barrens for now. There it is, natural Tron, no map even needed. The self-assembler. So they're on the red-green version. We could probably board out the Grizzly Survivors, maybe even the Duresses, I'm not sure. So let's cycle this, just go grab our island. Cycle Horror. Draw. I think we're going to pass right now, and then next turn we can look to win. I think going for right now, it would be just way too greedy. And they're using map. One thing I do like about Duress, though, is against Tron, it tends to be a little bit better. You can have a Crusher, I don't care. So it tends to be a little bit better because our opponent isn't leaving open green mana, which would tell me, like, crop rotation into Bazooka Bog is incredibly difficult to beat for me. And that's just a really easy way of seeing if they have the crop rotation with the Duress. And most builds don't play Duress, and Duress just is really, really effective that way. Alright, so we'll cycle the Horror. And Dino. Alright, so Songs makes 5, draw. Teachings is a decent one. Cycle. Songs for 6. Cycle. And again, 14. Cycle again. Grizzly Survivor right on time. Cycle. Alright, let's dress for Storm Count. Fiery Cannonade, huh? Okay. Songs. Scob. Exploit. Pick up the Songs of the Damned. Songs again for 10. And now we Reaping the Graves for 6. I wonder if Scob is actually the correct choice here. For 6, I wonder if I should just, like, I already have the Teachings. I think I'm supposed to just return 6 Cyclers. Street Wraith first, and then the rest. Okay, so we have 13 mana. Let's cycle with it on the stack. This could be a game where mana ends up mattering. Okay. One of the downsides of Grizzly Survivor right here is they do get stuck in your hand. Keep cycling. We've seen 0 Lotus Petals so far. I did board out the Blood Celebrant, so we are not playing towards drawing towards that. So Celebrant is in our sideboard. Cycle. Ritual. I don't know why. I guess it was fine. Cycle. Down to 8. Cycle again. Alright. Reaping the Graves. Return Stinger. Then some Street Wraiths. Alright, so I'll be at 2 by the time I'm done cycling these. Alright, we found a Lotus Petal. I think I'm gonna... Alright, I'm gonna cycle. I was thinking about stopping, but I think I'm supposed to just keep going. Sorry, I'm like in between plans at the moment. Go to 2 life. Cycle. And again. 6 mana. Cycle. Right, I'm just gonna finish letting this resolve. So I can play out 2 Lotus Petals in the land. 21 cards in deck. Cycle here. Cycle. That was a good one. Okay. So I can play 1 Stinger here. And I say that because I have to use Lotus Petals for red in order to win, and I need to get another copy of Reaping the Graves with this Teachings. So we'll deal 1. Ouch. Take 1. Cycle Barrenmore. Alright, so that was good. I think now actually I can just use the other petal for Stinger here. I think I can return everyone. Doesn't really matter. No need to return the street rates. Don't have the life total, really. Okay, so this is resolving, and then we'll eventually cast this Stinger. Sacrifice for red. Sting, sting. Cycle. And again, and again, and again, and again. Okay, so we picked up 2 more Stingers, but no Lotus Petals. There's a petal. So we'll play that. Make it red. Cast this. Cycle on. Okay, so that's going to be match number 3. Cycle Storm beats Red-Green Tron. 2 to go. Hey, you're still watching. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you're looking to make a purchase from Card Hoarder, TCG Player, or Amazon and are looking to support us, you can open up our description down below, and in there you will find our affiliate links. Those same links are found on the homepage of the Epic Storm. But that's not all. We've included a Card Hoarder button on our website that will load the Epic Storm in your Card Hoarder cart to make life simple for you. 4th match, we're on the play. Keep. Alright, Swamp Pass. Mountain? Okay, so they might be burn. They could be the Goblin combo deck. Draw. Let's try cycling Horror of the Broken Lands. No land. Cycle Street Wraith. Okay, I'll take it. Cycle. Pass that turn. Alright, so no Bolt on the end step. I would guess they're the Goblin deck then. No, they are burn. Okay. Cycle. Alright, cycle. Pass. Could be dead here from 18. It's certainly possible. Needle drop. Skewer the critics, you got it. Ouch. Another skewer. I'm at 8. Alright, we need to draw Reaping the Graves. Cycle. Alright, I have to cast that ploy and just hope. Add a blue. Dahada's ploy. Womp womp. Alright, I have to pass the turn. That's a bummer. Ouch. Suspends Riftbolt. Suspends Riftbolt. Voldaren Epicure. So it looks like I actually get to untap here. We have to draw something right now if I want to win this game. That's not going to do it. So unfortunately, we're dead. I'm just going to concede. Like, there's 2 Riftbolts suspended in exile, so there's no point in, like, just passing to die. Let's see what the next card is. You know, that would happen. But, you know, we're not going to worry about it. Let's just focus on getting the post-board game. So let's switch this back to card view, board in our ploy. What to take out? That's the real question here. I think you just want to board out a Scob. We want to keep the creature count high. This is our Lycan effect. We want this for consistency. And Scob can be a little bit of a liability versus the burn deck since they just have tons of lightning bolts. So we'll try that out. I don't think you want Duress. Sometimes people board in Duress in matchups where they shouldn't. Just because it technically has, you know, usability in every matchup. This isn't really what you want to be doing. So here we have 1 cycler despite having triple land. I think you're supposed to just go to 6. Yikes. Is 5 better? I'm gonna get a little risky here. Okay. Cycle 18. Okay, let's just play the Barrymore and pass. I don't need to show them my hand with the Street Wraith. Plus, if I save this, I can gain a life back off Ploy. Well, during Epicure, draw. Beautiful. Cycle. Okay. Thermo Alchemist, sure thing. So we're going to 16. Could be dead on the next turn. I'm going to cycle on their end step, and the reason why is if I hit another 1-mana cycling creature, I want to be able to use it. There we go. Come on, Reaping the Graves. Dark Ritual. Cycle. There we go. Dark Ritual. Play Lotus Petal. I'm gonna hold on to this Ploy. Actually, I could do it pre and post, which would be better. Alright, we'll do it this way. Discard the Ash Barrens. Cycle. Hello. And I'm going to sit on this other one for just a second. Because I have a couple Street Wraiths, so I might be able to squeeze an extra mana out of this. Okay. Street Wraith comes back, cycle. Cycle. And again, cycle. That was actually really good. Okay, let's cycle this. Go to 10, cycle. Play songs for 8. Cycle healer. Alright, all the songs in the world. Cycle. And again, cycle. Play the Celebrant. We'll jumpstart this Ploy from the graveyard. Discard an Ash Barrens. Discard the Barrens again. Alright, so let's Cabal Ritual. Cycle the Stinger. Alright, I'm gonna cycle the healer. Cycle Barrenmore. Okay, Cabal Ritual, let's Ploy. Barrymore down. Have to hit here, running a little thin. Cycle. So if I want to cast this Ploy, I have to burn the songs. I think it's just a play I have to make here. Alright. Ploy. Discard. Oh, I really wanted 1. I guess I'll take it. 57 life. Turn 15. Turn on Street Wraiths. And this is why you don't port out Street Wraith regardless of the matchup. Like, I know we're facing the burn deck, but Street Wraith is just so powerful, and it really helps with your consistency. Cycle. Teachings, I can go get another songs. How much would songs make here? 11. Alright, let's go grab it. So our last Songs of the Damned. So we can cycle this and then use the Lotus Petal to cast this, so we get 1 more mana out of it. Okay, turn 3. Keep cycling. Running a little bit light on mana. There we go. So ideally, I would hit the Repository Scob wherever it is in the deck, and then I can use that to get back a songs. Okay. Come on, Cabal Ritual. Alright, running low on mana again. There we go. Cycle. Okay. Feeling a little bit better now. Keep cycling. And now we have the mana for songs. We should be able to close this out. Okay. So I need to let the rest of this just resolve. We're gonna add a blue, repository scob, exploit it. Where's the Songs of the Damned? Up here. Cast it. Return some stingers. Alright, so we're clicking through. Alright, bring everyone back. Should be easy peasy from here. But then we have to win game number 3 on the draw. Resolving Reaping the Grave still. So many copies. Alright, Stinger 1. Stinger 2. We have all 4. Alright. All 4 stingers on the table, and then I started blasting. Alright. Just keep cycling. Game number 2 goes to the good guys. Get out of here, Burn. Now the tough game. Game number 3 on the draw. I think we leave it. You can make some argument to maybe wanting the 13th land. I don't know what you would cut. You'd have to cut like an Architects, I think. Alright, let's try this out. I'll try it. I really wish that this was a swamp and that way I could get some cycle equity in, but you can't mulligan this. Draw. Play the Barrymore, pass the turn. No unstep bolt. Lava Spike into Needle Drop. You got it. Definitely not their scariest start. Cycle Horror. Let's try to hit that land. Cycle Street Wraith. No dice. Okay, so I think I might discard a creature here. Make songs make more mana faster. That's the idea. Curse, okay. We're at 13. Draw. Alright, I think maybe I should cycle on my main phase. The problem is if I cycle main phase, I'm tapping out, so I'm dead to them just like killing me, but I'd really like to hit land 2. Alright, I'm just gonna do it. Alright, pass. Ouch. Alchemist. 3 cards in hand. Draw. I'm worried about a Pyroblast here. Because Pyroblast would make sense based on how this game is played out. What songs? Cycle. And again. And again. Alright, so that was a pretty good hit. I'm going to cycle this, and I'm only going to leave myself with 1 blue. Okay. Whoops. Undo. Songs of the Dam for 8. I'm going to try Ploy, see if they counter it. Into 2 more Ploys, okay. Yeah. Problem is I'm late on mana right now. So songs would make 8 mana. So it's +3 if I go to get it. And then I can't play again. Alright, I'm just gonna jumpstart this. Please resolve. This one's getting blasted. Okay. Reaping the Graves. So the problem is we don't have like any resources. Like I'm not set up to rebuild next turn, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. I've not played a land. So I guess I'm supposed to let these all resolve, but let's grab the island actually. Because that means I can cast Ploy next turn. Cycle this. Alright, move to cleanup, discard. They cycle Forgotten Cave. 3 cards in hand. I'm at 13. Skewer, 2 cards. Fireblast. If it's double Fireblast, I'm dead. Actually, I think if it's another burn spell, I'm dead. They got me. Too good. Alright, so we are now 2-2 with 1 round left to go. Yeah, the hottest play did a lot of damage here, but being hit by Pyroblaster was certainly noticeable. I'll say that. So it is what it is. I still don't think you want Duress in this matchup, but I'm pretty firm on my opinion on that. But hey, 1 round left to go. If you're looking for more great Magic the Gathering content, definitely check out the Eternal Glory podcast. It is myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We primarily discuss Legacy. That said, a lot of what we talk about transcends all formats. We're available on all major podcast platforms. Match number 5. We're on the play. Let's see if we can finish this with a winning record. Good hand, we'll keep. Alright, swamp and pass the turn. Okay. Affinity. Okay, cycle. Teachings. Not really what we needed at this stage in the game, but okay. Alright, we're already out of cyclers. Not ideal. I'm not going to pretend that's good. Something we could do is ritual into these, but I don't really want to make that play yet. I want to see what my draw step is and reevaluate. Alright, that was good. Cycle. I think we can just pass here. Now on their end step, if we want a ritual cycle, it's worth thinking about. Synthesizer, you got it. Chrome Star. Sure thing. Great Furnace, so now they can play a Mirror Enforcer. There you go. I don't know if that's actually a play I want to make. So I just want to think through this. So if I go Ritual Reaping the Graves, I untap with 3 cyclers in hand. I'd actually end up discarding because I couldn't get through all of them. I'm just going to draw. Lotus Petal. Okay, so let's Dark Ritual, and then I'm going to Ploy. See if I can hit another creature. There we go. Discard the Teachings, I think. Then I have Thresholds, cast this Cabal Ritual, cycle Street Wraith, Dark Ritual, cycle Barrenmore, go get our island, play that. So now I can Jumpstart Ploy, although I don't think that's a play I want to make right now. And let's return some creatures. Alright, Street Wraith first, and then the other 2. Cycle. That was a good one. Cycle this. Hell yeah. Welcome, Scob. And Architects. Sure thing. Cycle. Let's cycle the Barrenmore. Why not? Alright, I'm going to cycle this, and I'm going to use the Lotus Petal for black. Alright, songs. Play Scob. We'll pick up the songs. Exploit. Return it. And then before we cast it, let's cycle this to make it one more. Dark Ritual. Songs of the Damned, and Reap the Graves floating 8. Wraith, Wraith, and then the rest. Okay. 13, keep cycling. 30 cards left in deck. Celebrant's good. So right now I wouldn't have enough mana to exploit, because I could play the Celebrant into the Ska, but I wouldn't have any mana floating. Alternatively, I could stop now and just jumpstart the ploy and gain a ton of life. So I would get 4 looks at success. How many songs have I used? 1 Dark Ritual, 2 Dark Ritual, 3 Dark Rituals, 2 Cabal Rituals, 1 songs. There are 3 songs in the deck. Alright, I'm gonna cycle. Alright, cycle again. And again. There we go. Songs of the Damned. Alright. I'm just gonna let the rest of these resolve. Play the Blood Celebrant. Cycle. And we have it from here. Okay, play the Petal. Cycle down to 20 cards left. Okay, so let's play the Scob. Exploit. Pick up a songs. Cast Ploy. Discard Ash Barrens. Cycle. Dark Ritual. Let's jumpstart Ploy. Discard this. Discard the Barrenmore. Alright. Songs of the Damned. Okay. Should be pretty easy from here. Okay, so now we just return and then start stinging. Alright, red mana, play a stinger. Red mana, play a stinger. Buzz buzz. Cycle. When it's now at 18. 9 more cycles to go. Ooh, drew a stinger. Double stinger, how lovely. Let's play those. Alright, Cabal Ritual, because I can. Cycle Wraith. Okay, so we got game 1 over Affinity. Time for the post board. Honestly, I think I might just resubmit. Like, we don't have anything like a artifact destruction spell, and I think Mearshell Crab is not what I want to be doing, so I'm going to resubmit and just hope for the best. Alright, game number 2 on the draw. No lands. I mean, the rest of this hand is fantastic, but no lands. We could go Dark Ritual triple cycle on the first turn. You know what? For the science, let's do it. This is already a league that hasn't gone well, so might as well see how far we can take a hand like this. Typically, I do believe that this hand is a mulligan. I'm not trying to say that it's a keep. I just want to see what we can do here. Alright, they played a turn 1 bridge. Draw. Lotus Petal. Dark Ritual. Cycle. Cycle. Hey, we hit the land. Alright, let's cycle again. Okay. We could try for a turn 1 here. I don't think it's a good idea, but we could go for it. I could go Lotus Petal, Cabal Ritual, cycle, Reaping the Graves, and like hope to hit. I think that's all pretty greedy. I'm just gonna cycle. Go grab our island. Pass the turn. Land number 2. Ichor Wellspring. You got it. Draw. Okay. Let's just play the island cycle. I'm going to be patient and wait. I don't think going for it for 4 cards with 3 mana floating is going to be good enough. Okay, draw. Dark Ritual. Let's cycle. Okay. How many creatures do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not worth going to go get songs. Let's Reaping the Graves for 4, I guess. Yeah, I'm just going to cast it for 4. I thought about casting the teachings there. I don't think it's right. Wraith and then the rest. Cycle. Okay. Cycle again. Dark Ritual. Cycle. Drannith Stinger. Cycle. Cabal Ritual. Cycle Barrenmore. Cycle Horror. Cycle Barrenmore. Okay. Songs. Cycle Barrenmore. I've already played my land. Alright. Teachings. Go get Reaping the Graves. And at least now we'll have a stocked hand. Street Wraith. And that is the only one in there. Okay. Cycle, see if we can spike his songs. Nope, okay. So we're passing the turn. Pass, and what do I want to discard? Probably the Vantisor. You could also discard the Ash Barrens, but I like the idea that if I don't draw into a land next turn, I can just cycle 4 times. And you might be thinking, Bryant, why don't you just sit there and wait until you can definitely win? That's a reasonable line. I'm not trying to say that it's not. But our opponent's deck does play Duress, and I think just sitting there forever usually doesn't work out in your favor. At least that's my experience. So they're adding a blue, probably using the Chromatic Star. They do. Convert it to a black. Another Blood Fountain. Mirror Enforcer. Okay. Draw. Let's play this Ash Baron. Cycle Street Wraith going down to 12. Okay. Cycle. Cycle again. Cycle. Cycle. We found Reaping, but no Songs of the Damned. Let's try another. Do I really want to go for it right now? I'm dead to double Galvanic Blast next turn, but they don't have any red sources. I'm going to be disciplined and wait. I'm going to draw for my turn next turn. It's going to be Songs of the Damned. I'm going to be so sad that I didn't just go for it. Deadly Dispute. Bargainer. Okay. Reckoner's Bargain, I mean. Sorry, forgive me. So they play Mirror Enforcer and a Frogmite. And we go to 8. Draw. I mean, I called it. No Guts Bryant. No Guts, no Glory. Cycle. The only one I can be disappointed in is myself for not trusting the sweet deck. Cycle. Play this. Let's cast this. We'll get back to Songs. Exploit. There it is. Okay. Storm 7. Return everything. Okay, so I'm going to pay a red here, play a Stinger. Play another Stinger. And let's start cycling. You need 11 cycles in order to win this game. We do have the backdoor mystical teachings in the graveyard, so I don't have to worry about not running into cyclers. Like, in fact, as long as there's a Reaping the Graves in our library, we win the game. I'm pretty confident that there is. Cycle. And again. Songs of the Damned number 4. Celebrant. Let's Songs. Make a blue. Scob. exploit, get back the Reaping the Graves, and now we just go through the motions. And our opponent is conceded. So that is the league. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so the deck list. Let's look at that. Sorry, I did have to restart my computer because I had to leave for an obligation, but I came back and finished this league. So, all right, this is what we played today. My thoughts. I did not like Grizzly Survivor, and I did not like Mirrorshell Crab. The rest of the deck felt pretty good. I don't know if I noticed a real difference between the Hottest Boy, excuse me, and the second copy of Mystical Teachings. Let me know if you thought that you did, but in general, I felt like they were pretty comparable. But yeah, I'd like to see these go, and I think if you look at the Boros matchup, if the Mirrorshell Crabs were repeals, we probably win that game, or that match. So maybe you cut these all together, or you just like have Mirrorshell Crabs for the blue matchups and repeals for the non-blue matchups, which is another thought. If you have any other ideas, like a card that's thrown around a lot is Steel Sabotage. I mean, I have my playset on Moto, I have a Japanese fill set in real life. My problem is that they don't cycle. Neither does this. I completely get it. But we lost that game because it didn't cycle. So I'm afraid of boarding in Steel Sabotage against a deck like Boros and then have it be a dead card. Much like this Crab was, where at least Crab can be a creature in the graveyard eventually to help count towards songs, where Steel Sabotage does nothing. So that's a card that people mention a lot. I do like that it's only 1 mana. That is super, super, super helpful. That's what I've got. Another card that I've considered that I've never really given a fair shake because it's a sorcery is Void Snare. Because a lot of the times Void Snare does what you're looking to do. You would target your opponent's graveyard hate with Void Snare, they sacrifice it, and then you go off in response. It's not the best. I don't love it, which is probably why I've never tried it. And Sorcery Speed Bounce is not that great, but I don't know. These are just thoughts that I'm having. If you have any other ideas to make this deck list better, hey, leave a comment down below or join the Storm Discord. That link is also in the description down below. And let's talk. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it, and keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.